Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. A link to the recorded webinar, along with a deck of the slides of this presentation, is available on the NDE website under the Team Nutrition Wellness Policy section. If you have any questions about information that you hear in this webinar, you can email Zainab Rita, the Team Nutrition Director, to her email at zainab, zainab.rida at nebraska.gov. As a reminder, we are providing these series of webinars to help you get started on revising your school wellness policy. There is one additional webinar available that will be reviewing the final elements of the school wellness policy and covering the monitoring and evaluation aspects. We will share resources, evaluation tools, and samples of policy language in this final webinar. The outline of today's webinar is to provide a summary of previous webinars, introduce the final provisions of the public notification, identify best practices regarding this element, and highlight some of the administrative questions regarding this element, as well as some possible answers for these questions that you will see upon review. We will also share some great team nutrition resources to help schools meet public notification requirements. And then finally, we will hear from Extension some success stories featuring Riley Elementary School. We will also hear how Extension and SNAP Education has offered school wellness policy trainings and support around public notification. As you all know, on July 29, 2016, USDA and Nutrition Services finalized regulations to create a framework and guidelines for written wellness policies established by local education agencies, or LEAs. The final rule requires LEAs to begin developing and revising local school wellness policies during the 2016-17 school year. LEAs must fully comply with the requirements of the rule by June 30, 2016. The new regulations require districts to include all 8 elements of the school wellness policy, and they include public involvement, nutrition guidelines, nutrition education, nutrition promotion, public notification, physical activity, monitoring and evaluation. So, to address the public involvement element, we need to look at the final rules. We will first see that the element indicates that each LEA must allow parents, students, representatives of school food service authorities, teachers, physical education teachers, school health professionals, the school board, school administrators, and the general public to participate in the development and implementation, as well as the periodic review and update of the local school wellness policy. The final rule of the nutrition guidelines will require that a local school wellness policy include these guidelines for all foods and beverages available to students on each participating school campus under the local education agency during the school day. This requirement ensures the policies include guidance about foods and beverages available for sale that is consistent with the regulations governing school meals, as well as competitive foods for sale in schools, and also encourages districts to establish standards for foods made available but not only sold during the school day on school campuses. We have also highlighted the final rule for nutrition education. This rule now requires including goals for nutrition education and nutrition promotion that promote student wellness. In developing these goals, LEAs must review and consider evidence-based strategies and techniques that link education with school involvement in the school environment. We also are introduced to nutrition promotion. LEAs are now required to include goals for nutrition promotion to improve the nutrition environment. Changing the school environment has been found to support healthy eating practices. Last, we introduced the final provision on physical education and physical activity. LEAs are now required to include goals for physical activity, PE, and other school-based activities to promote student wellness as part of their school wellness policy. Today, we will be focusing on the seventh element of the school wellness policy, which is public notification. The final rule of public notification requires LEAs to inform the public about the content of the local school wellness policy and makes the school wellness policy and any updates to the policy available to the public on an annual basis. According to the final rule, LEAs or schools must notify households on an annual basis of the availability of the local school wellness policy information and provide information that would enable interested households to obtain additional details on the wellness policy. USDA strongly encourages LEAs to provide as much information as possible to their communities about the school nutrition environment. While USDA agrees that sharing the local school wellness policy in many locations, it is useful in notifying families about the content and implementation of the policy. Also, LEAs are best suited to determine the specific methods for publicizing the information, since communication with households is very specific to a school or a local education agency and may vary. LEAs are also required to make available to the public the results of the triennial assessment and actively notify households of the availability of any assessment results. Here are some avenues of communication that schools can use to meet the public notification requirements: handbooks, simple flyers or posters, articles, staff emails, cafeteria promotions. Really, the final rule provides flexibility to determine the most effective method of providing this notification within LEA's own communities. For example, LEAs could post the local school wellness policy on the school's website and send a message to families notifying them that they may obtain a copy or otherwise access the policy on the website. In addition to the online posting option, a copy of the school wellness policy could be posted at each physical school site, such as in the front or main office. Furthermore, the local education agency could present information during a meeting with parents and teachers, PTO organizations, school board, school superintendent meetings, school district health and wellness committees, and other interested groups or stakeholders. Examples of methods for public information sharing with the larger school community includes notifications through local newspapers or media that link a web page or the school LEA's website. USDA strongly recommends LEAs make an intensive effort to ensure that the local school wellness policy and any public announcement related to the policy is available in the languages that represent the school community. With the policy approved and adopted, communities need to communicate the new policy revisions to stakeholders. This is a critical element to ensure that the policy becomes practice. Here are some avenues for communities to use on how to establish communication about the policy changes to staff, students, families, and the larger community. Establish a school wellness web page on the district website. This can be a place for go-to information for the school wellness policy, frequently asked questions, handouts, and a calendar of events related to the school wellness policy. Include an article of the policy revisions in the district or school newsletter. Include a link to the school website for more information. Feature success stories on how the wellness policy is positively impacting students and staff in the school district website, or on an ongoing basis, promote the stories through websites, newsletters, or other social media avenues. Feature health and wellness success and events on social media to broaden increased awareness. Celebrate successes, big and small, and hold a special events to recognize school champions such as students, families, and staff who have gone the extra mile to make wellness a priority. Invite wellness community members and give them a round of applause. Send a press release to local media outlets outlining the changes to the policy and how the promotion has led to these additional school wellness policy activities and events. Here are a couple of questions that are included in the administrative review. How does the public know about the local school wellness policy? Provide documentation to support the response or appropriate web address. In response to each of these questions, here is an example. The district will inform parents of the improvements that have been made to school meals in compliance with school meal standards, availability of school child nutrition programs, and how to apply for the free and reduced meal program, as well as the description of and compliance about smart snacks in school nutrition standards. The district will use electronic mechanisms such as email or displaying notices on the district's website, as well as non-electronic mechanisms such as newsletters, presentations to parents, or sending information home to ensure that all families are actively notified of the content of implementation of the school wellness policy updates, as well as how to get involved and support the policy if interested. The district will also use these mechanisms to inform the community about the availability of the annual and triennial reports. Here are more examples of policy language regarding public notification. Schools will keep their school community informed about the local school wellness policy by posting it in their front office, in the cafeteria, displaying it on the school website, and sharing it with their food service staff and parent organizations. Schools will use parent resource centers to disseminate information about their wellness policy. In addition, principals will actively engage parents in discussing local school wellness policy updates whenever possible to promote the wellness policy. They will also receive feedback and encourage conversations about healthy behavior within the course of a regular school day. More examples. The district will include and collaborate with other county or city agencies and community organizations to coordinate the development, distribution, and promotion of the local school wellness policy. The district will coordinate with the community to develop standardized language and materials about the requirements of the benefits of the local school wellness policy. These materials should be targeted for various audiences, including staff, parents, students, and the larger community. The district will require schools to designate a point person in their schools that can answer questions on the school wellness policy. The district will also create guidance on how to implement a wellness committee at the school site level, consisting of staff, students, parents, and community members, or to integrate wellness into existing committees, such as site councils, to support the implementation of this plan and distributing the guidance in various ways. Communication should be simple, clear, and direct. This slide shows examples of appropriate communication methods based on your target audience. If you're interested in targeting parents and families, you can use an in-person open house event or contact parents through PTO or PTA meetings or other council opportunities. If you want to communicate with parents using print methods, you can send home backpack flyers, menus, other handouts, or brochures. If you want to use media as a method for communication, you can use the school newspaper, auto dialing, or any other appropriate method for this audience. And finally, you can communicate with parents using electronic methods such as school district websites, social media, and emails. This slide gives you an example of a communication plan organized by the purpose of communication objectives, which is your key message content, your target audience or stakeholders, and then the methods of communication, and suggest a timeline for each plan. If your purpose of communication is to seek parent support and understanding of their role in the local school wellness policy, your message may include the following: importance of good nutrition and physical activity for children, contribution of school meals and snacks, changes aimed at improving school health, review of policy components, including process and feedback. The method of communicating that you select can be in many forms, such as letters, brochures, handouts at open houses, or back-to-school nights, or even PTA meetings. You may also disseminate the messages in form of an update after winter break. The best time to disseminate this information, it's up to you, but it is suggested that mid-September through mid-November is a great opportunity to connect with families during a time when they're not busy with other activities. If you want to send letters late September or early October, you will want to use handouts or brochures. And finally, in January or February, you could send an update, letting them know of any progress made. Here is a personal example of ways to send out messaging to key content areas or to key stakeholders or audiences, such as progress on implementation to the board members, the community, or school staff. You could do this by using a school newsletter, the school district website, or board meetings. And then you can make sure that you evaluate your communication, understand what's worked best and what needs more assistance. Here are some really great resources from Team Nutrition about popular events that have helped to promote and highlight the work that schools are doing around the school wellness policy. The Team Nutrition Popular Events book is filled with ideas to promote nutrition and physical activity at elementary and middle school levels. The Institute for Child Nutrition Communication Tools for School Nutrition Programs includes templates for newsletters, articles, as well as press releases, tips for working with the media, and garnering support from the school board administrators and the larger community. The Institute of Child Nutrition has many relevant resources available on their Communication Tools website. Many of the documents are in a Word format that is designed to be customized and edited for specific programs or employee needs. School nutrition media releases provides a template to provide consistent and constant communication with print and electronic media reporters. Many other resources are available on this website. As you scroll through, you can find newspaper advertisements for school nutrition employees, how to prepare in discussions with the media, skeleton templates for news releases, sound bites for discussing topics with the media, as well as nutrition case studies and slide presentations. This is an example of one of the tools that you can use for the purpose of public notification. It is a letter communicating with families and why the school is invested in providing school wellness concepts. This is an excellent example of an annual wellness report card. It reviews nutrition initiatives, physical activity, and other district-wide school wellness policies, support events. It includes archived report cards and recommendations to improve overall student wellness. This report card includes information on the fresh fruit and vegetable program, farm to school, changes on smart snacks rules, and more. This is one way school districts can meet the public reporting requirement for wellness policies, as long as you are required to report the requirements that are included. Now I would like to focus on the Extension and SNAP Ed program and how they can offer resources and support to schools to meet the public notification requirements. We will also share a great success story from Riley School to highlight some great projects that they do to promote student wellness. We all know the power of communication. It is key to all of the things in the graphic: the relationships, value, success, loyalty with customers, and many, many things. In this case, customers are our parents, students, and others in the community, so anyone in your school system. Notifying the public of your school wellness policy, plans, and team members is a required element of the new school wellness policy. Nebraska Extension and the Nutrition Education Program staff can help you with this. This slide has a lot of information, but we wanted to give you specific examples on how Nebraska Extension and the nutrition education programs can help schools notify the public about school wellness policy efforts. When you think about public notification related to your school wellness policy, think about what is going to work for your school. You know what works and what doesn't. And it's okay if the first method that you hope to communicate with families doesn't really work. You can always try something next time. Nutrition education staff from Extension can help schools on public notification through the following ways: school wellness policy informations and newsletters, through social media such as Facebook posts with fun pictures, promoting student involvement to promote awareness through media such as Twitter with hashtags or other community groups, websites, or social media, and tagging your school nutrition or physical activity events in those posts. Promote school wellness activities in news releases. Post information on the school website. Staff can assist schools in creating flyers and send home information to tell a community about becoming a healthier school. Involvement in community healthy fundraising events. Provide supports with visual aids to promote school wellness policy goals. Provide sample resources to schools to get the word out about health and wellness at their school. Student handbooks, posters in the cafeteria provided free by Team Nutrition, and get staff on board with letters of why and how they can become a healthier school and the benefit to them and the children. Offer to write paragraphs explaining the School Wellness Committee and how school wellness looks at your school. This slide shares an example of a success story from Raleigh Elementary in Lincoln, Nebraska. Raleigh recently received a mini grant from Team Nutrition to work on school wellness policy. With their permission, we are using Raleigh's success story in this webinar. Raleigh Elementary used their Team Nutrition grant money to start an initiative called Raleigh Gets Fit. They started their awareness for both staff and students by hosting assemblies and events to promote future activities under the initiative. Their wellness focus began with a wellness team, and their end goal is to obtain a walking path around the school playground to increase physical activity among their students. Their greatest challenge has been their lack of a wellness team and school-wide initiative. They have started to build a team, as well as kicking off their initiative through an assembly. They have started to build awareness and a need through these avenues. Using their Raleigh Gets Fit initiative, they will be hosting several events, challenges, and activities throughout the year. The Team Nutrition School Wellness Policy mini grants will help them fund activities, provide prizes, and advertisements to the community about these events. They have had great short-term success. The awareness of the team and the initiative has sparked a lot of great ideas and activities within their building. They have seen a large change in school-level practices with focuses on physical activity. They have completed changes to their morning school entry procedure to include the entire student body doing 10 minutes of walking instead of sitting in line. They have established quarterly district challenges with fun competitions with the goal of 100% participation where students engage in the challenges. They think of the beginning through this initiative has opened many doors and many opportunities for the building to receive future funding for their walking track. They have seen positive staff administration responses to their wellness initiatives and activities. They will continue to build their school's wellness team and expand their efforts using the grant funds to advertise and promote these programs and activities to the community. I have bolded 3 of the successes that are most related to the public notification requirement. The success of the wellness team's efforts and activities are due in part to the communication between the wellness team, the students, staff, parents, and the administration at Raleigh Elementary School. Here is a quote from Maddie Gates at Raleigh Elementary. Our initiative has already created a more fit and active school and community. It is building a more positive school climate through teamwork and activity. This is an example we would love to hear from every school. It really does take the work of an entire school and the support of the community to make great things happen for students. Here are 2 pictures provided by Riley Elementary School showing the incentives they purchased to inspire students to be active, and the second picture showing their ultimate goal, which is to raise $14,000 to put in a walking track at their school. Riley's recommendations for other school districts to consider as they work on wellness policy efforts. First, focus on a goal and find activities and ideas to bring your school together as a community. The second, build a strong team within your school to provide support for your goal. Public notification and communication are both an important part of these recommendations. For more information on the Nutrition Education Program and what it can offer your school and community related to school wellness policy and nutrition, please visit the following link, food.unl.edu/Nutrition Education Program, NEP. Or you can contact Natalie C. High, who is the main extension contact for these initiatives. Thank you and have a great day.